name is KarlaRPG and welcome to my first ever video. Now, as you can see by the title, throughout this series our final aim is going to be making a small RPG game using the program RPG Maker MV. Now, I'm going to start the game off. However, if you guys have any suggestions, you can leave a comment below and hopefully we'll have a fully fledged game quite quickly. Now, as I'm not going to go in depth to this game right now, all we're going to do is we're going to be using the default characters, which is Harold, Therese, Marsha and Lucius, and we're going to be using the basic RPG Maker MV tile sets. I'm going to focus more on the fantasy, so stuff like the cities here we're not going to use, even though that looks pretty cool. We might occasionally use something like that, or even better, this. But that really depends on what's going on. I don't usually like using these little sprites, but anyway, I digress. Now, first step to starting your game is you're going to want to think of a plot. Now, if you're not good at coming up with plots, like me, what you can do is you can go to my favourite website of all time, the big list of RPG plots. So basically they just list different RPG plots which you can go in and have a look. Now, I had a look earlier, and one that I think I'm going to pick for now is Missing Memories. It's rather cliche, but it offers a quick storyline that we can do in a short game, which is where one of the characters wakes up with no memory and they find themselves in some kind of trouble that they have no idea what's going on. The player must then find the reason for the memory lapse and solve any problems they uncover. And the common twist is that the player character voluntarily suppressed or erased the memories. I like that one, as you can work with that one pretty well. So once you've figured out your plot, you can then come up with the title. Now, as you can see over in the top left corner, I've just named it Let's Make a Game. But what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go on to System, and you can change that. So let's go with Forgotten for now, just because that sounds cool. Database system here is where you can change everything from the starting position, even though you can do that manually. So these are the starting positions for things like the boat, ship and airship. However, you can do that once you make the correct map. And you can change the title sequence. For now, I think I might just choose, where was it, the one that I liked? I liked the tower, so we can do that for now. Later on I might show you how to make a custom title sequence, but let's go with that for now. We're not going to change anything else. So classes, we're going to just keep hero, warrior, mage and priest. Skills, I'm not going to add any more, but these are all customizable. And if you want a tutorial on how to make your own skills, your own items and your own weapons, well, we might need to add some more of those later, then just leave a comment down below and I'll get to it as soon as I can. We'll be making more villains because we don't want to be facing bats, slimes and orcs all over the place, but we'll make defaults if anything. So first things first, I'm a realist. No, I'm kidding. We're going to want to make a little title cutscene that introduces the game. So what we're going to do is, I like to label mine, so I put mine in different orders. So these are the cutscene folders. Cutscenes. Because what you want to do is you want to make a map. One for the cutscene, one without. So what I'll do here is I'll do a new map. What we're going to want is we're going to want it to be a dungeon, because let's have the main character wake up in a dungeon with no idea what he's doing there or why he's there. So we'll just set this scene as the first room. So here we go. Now let us choose a default for. So this is what we'll do. Actually, yeah, we're going to just make a basic one for now. But it's going to be... Now, if you don't know exactly what you're going to do to begin with, you can start off roughly just planning on what you want the room to look like. Just going with the flow, really. That's not what I wanted to do. Or if you know what you want to do, like I'm going to do it. So let's just say the main character had to give up his memories because to beat the villain, to beat the boss. We'll do a backwards game. You've beaten the boss and you're playing the aftermath. So here we go. We'll just do this for now. I've done this wrong. There we go. That's what I wanted. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll just fill the rest out with black. Let's see. Let's just move this in the square so that fits better. Hang on. If you press shift, then it'll leave it like that, which I think looks cool. Symmetrical? No, it is not. There we go. That's better. So there we go. What we'll want then is we'll want to start the position of the player there. Now what I'm going to just do is I'm just going to go back down on here because we just want Harold by himself. We don't want everyone else to be there. So we'll start Harold there. So let's put some decoration in here. Some demonly boss room like decorations. That is the fill tool. I do not want that. So we'll have some weird looking rocks dotted around the place. Like the room has been, a deadly war has been waged in this room, I would suggest. Then we'll maybe have, there we go, we'll move the player so he wakes up in the middle of the room, like that. So here we go. That's basically what you're going to want. You can have some more cracks in the wall. Oh, didn't. So like that, maybe. Yeah, like I said, we're going to keep this really basic for now. Actually, you can't. Let's have some broken demon things because broken demon things are cool. So we'll have some pillars there in the corner. There you go. And if you want, you can make a shadow of the weird demon head things. Something like that, really. There we go. That looks cool. Okay, so we'll keep that like that. That. So, like I said, really basic. But now what we're gonna do is we just wanna copy that map and then just paste it in again. Now what that means is this is where the cutscene. However, if you ever come back, you can go into the main room. There is something that I want here. It's here somewhere. Wrong one. This one. So that's basically showing that there's light. So this is the final boss room. So now what we're going to do is we're going to want to make a quick cutscene. Now always, I like making my cutscenes over in the corner. Just so that means that it's out the way, you can't really step on it. Remember to change the trigger to auto run down here. So what we'll want to do is we'll want to fade in from when they start the game. Actually, let's have some music. So before we do that, we're going to fade out the screen and we're going to play some background music. What's the Dungeons ones? I'm back. Sorry for the interruption there. For some reason, the sound on my computer had stopped working. But there we go. We got this sorted. So let's just keep it fade in. But we're going to want to, before we do that, we're going to want some background music. So let's have a look. I'm going to turn this down quickly. Okay, so that's Dungeon 1. This is Dungeon 2. And that's Dungeon 3. This sounds too cool for just waking up and having no idea where you are after a battle has taken place. I think number 1 goes well. But what you can do, if you want, is change the pitch. So if you wanted it slower, that sounds pretty cool. And then you can also change the pan. So this is more useful for sound effects, but you can have it coming from one ear, or the other ear, or in the middle. I prefer it in the middle for background, so that you got really slow, or really quick. Which sounds weird. Let's go with 50. There we go. So we'll put that in there. So we'll fade in screen, so characters just woken up. So then what we'll want to do is, if you go on to Event Commands 2, you want to go on Set Movement Route. Now, we want the player, because the player is currently Harold. Let's have them turn left, turn right, turn up, and turn down. Now we're going to want them to say something. So you're going to show text. Now, seeing as we're on Harold, we might as well just go on to Harold face set. So we'll want Harold. Okay, we can maybe introduce the next character for now. So we'll just go. So the character's woken up. They've had a look around. Where am I? Who am I? See? That's really simple. Now, these backgrounds here, they can change. You can have it so only the face and the text shows up. That's good for if it's like a, would you like to save the game? I'll show you use of that in a minute. You've got dim, which shows the background, it's just blacked out slightly, and window. Let's go with window for now. So let's do okay. So what we'll do now is we'll have the room shake as if there's an earthquake coming or whatever. So what we're going to do is we'll want to shake the screen. Let's also play a sound effect. Do they have a rumble sound effect, I wonder? No, we won't want that. No. Let's go with this one. This sounds like an earthquake. Then just for a little bit, we're going to show a balloon. Let's go with an exclamation, and then get the player to speak again, saying something along the lines of, let's just go with the basic, I need to get out of here. So then what we can do is we'll just have them rush out the exit here. So what we'll do is here we go. So then what we'll do is We can either get them to run forward themselves, or you can get the player to run them forward. But what we'll want to do is quickly change their speed, so to very quick, or too faster, basically. So we'll want to move them down. You've got to be careful to count the squares. Well, you don't necessarily have to here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now here we will want them to, when they touch that, now that's an auto run. Here we can make a new event, which is player touch. Wait, or you can make a quick event creation transfer. Now, see, this is where it goes to, so we'll make a quick map for that before we do that. So we'll bring them. So that's the first room normally, without the cutscene. We'll want to create a new room. Let's make some sort of corridor. So let's call it, on the first room, create a new map, dungeon corridor. Let's just call it dungeon passage, because I can't spell. Dungeon passage. So we'll go to, we'll want the width to be smaller, but we'll want the height to be a lot bigger. So there we go, it looks like that. Oh, I forgot to remember, don't do what I did, make sure to change the tile set as dungeon. So then what we can do is we'll make it the same floor, and we'll make it the same, so here we go. It's always good to make roughly the same exit point. If you can't remember necessarily, it doesn't really matter all too much, but it seems better to me. So we'll just do a nice long corridor like this. We'll make the exit somewhere different. Hang on, let's do that here. So there we go. You will then have that's the wall, so that should actually be one lower. And then decrease that. Boop, boop, boop. There you go. You'll put in our roof. Lost it. There it is. Then we can do it like this. But I don't really. Oh, we want it like this. And if you don't want it, you just want it looking like it's a wall. What you'll need is that, and then shift. Oh, no. Okay, you don't want shift. Maybe move it in one. Let's move it in one. So if you move it in one, then have a black tile. Move that in one. Like that. And then yet again have a black tile. Then we'll have our wall back here. Just leave it like that actually, that looks good. But what we'll want to do is here, we'll want to do that. Maybe put a shadow. There we go. So once you've done that, you've got yourself a basic little corridor. So then obviously we're going to want to decorate it again. I vote we just use these because they're pretty cool. Forget that, we're going to do this the old school route. Now, depending on how you are, you can make it all symmetrical, or you can do what I'm doing and do it very rough. We'll do a couple of these destroyed, but most of them will have normal. Just like that. We'll have the same exit there. Maybe some pots Actually, no, I'll do that as an animation so you can look inside of the pots rather than the chests, which I think is pretty cool. So there we go. If we do that as a really basic sort of like, this is super basic. You can do whatever you want in terms of adding like dirt or adding cracks. Maybe there's going to be a part where he has to jump over to get to it. So maybe here he'll have to jump onto there. Actually, I like that. We'll show you how to do that. So we'll put some cracks in the ground, as obviously it's breaking. Maybe a little, just a hole in the corner, because this is a collapsing building. A few holes. There we go. Well, I think that works pretty well. So we'll go back to here to the cutscene. We'll want to, like I said earlier, go on to the quick event creation and go transfer. And we'll want to send them down into the first room, the dungeon passage, sorry, and go here. Now, what we'll want to do here is do the same again, in case you want to come back later, which we might, which we want to send them back to the first room normal. And we'll want to send them to here. However, oh, wrong thing. However, for this one, we'll want to edit so they don't go back now. So what we want to do is copy the event page and paste. Now for this one, if we'll create a new switch called first room clear. If first room clear is on, then they'll be able to go back. However, seeing as it's collapsing, they want to go back. So what we'll do is we'll show a quick message. For this, we'll want to go dim. The place is collapsing. You don't want to go there. Yeah. This is very basic. I'll probably change this later. So that's if the player touches it to go back in. And then I just realised I forgot to do this. So we'll just copy that event because it's going to the same place anyway. And then back to here. So there we go. So now we can go back in there if we really want to. And now what we want to do is a quick jump animation from here to here. So maybe we should set it for all around, but so here's we'll want to do a if they go here, we will show a bubble. We'll need to change this to player touch, and we'll want to show a bubble. Right, I've lost the bubbles. There they are. Wait, no, they're not. Oh, there we go. Whoops. So I want to go in exclamation. If there is a gap is too wide, try pressing enter to jump over the gap. There we go. Really simple. Literally just like that. Okay, so I was just thinking, do we have the narrator be a little annoying voice in the character's head? But no, I'll save that one for another time. Okay, back. So then what we'll want to do is we'll want to turn switch. We'll make a new one. We're going to lose lots of switches, called jump tutorial on, or not one. Yes. we'll want to turn that off, and if that has been cleared, if they press the action button, what we'll want to do is set movement route, turn left, even if they have turned left anyway. What you'll do is you'll turn left, and we'll want them to jump x minus 2. So that means that they'll jump over the hole, basically. And what we want to do is we want to copy that event page. Wait, no, we don't. We don't want to copy that event page. We want to copy that event page. Then what we want to do is we want to new, paste. And then what we can do with that one is we can just copy it here, here, and here, depending on where the character stands first. But we're going to add, try looking for somewhere to jump. There we go. We'll just make that dim. Okay. Obviously, you will have the background going on over this, so paste that. This one doesn't need that, but what we'll want to do is, what you can do is, while they do that, what we don't want them to do is we don't want it to wait, and then we can see if we can play a sound effect, which is like a jumping kind of sound effect. Let's see if they have one. Or let's make that slower. So there we go. Let's use that, and then that will obviously take us to the dungeon. Let's just go dungeon boss, just as it makes it easier, and we'll want to go outside. So in here, good, I was about to say I didn't really want that in there. So there we go, that all works fine. You can just cut it necessarily. So dungeon boss, we'll just make a quick map for, actually, do they have any pre-made ones for this? Let's have a quick look, shall we? Ones that we can use. Maybe they're in a floating temple. That's actually pretty cool. Let's say that they're in a floating temple. Why not? So we'll get rid of that, actually. We'll make a new one. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. For some reason, my MV decided to crash. So, and it didn't really save very well. So I recommend that while doing this, you probably thought of that while I didn't. I recommend saving. But obviously I didn't, so I'm sorry it all looks slightly different. But, yeah, that's the best I could do, unfortunately. I changed the cutscene slightly, because it decided to play. So, as you can see here, all I've done is, instead of looking, because for some reason that went really quickly, unless you waited some frames, I just did moving. That's all the same. I've done that, but for some reason the transfer wouldn't work, so I've had to put it in here. So then that moves you to here, as if you played the transfer, and now all I need to do is a quick transfer to the outside floating temple, and then we'll leave it here for this part. So we can edit the cutscene a little bit for the next time. I'm just going to close that off because I don't like that. There we go, that looks cool. So let's have a quick look, see how this works. Remember, if you guys like keyboard shortcuts, you can press Control and R to get this to work, or you can just press the button up here. I prefer using Control R. So we'll have a quick look, and there we go. We probably should have tested this as we went along, but there we go. We'll leave it like this for now. Where am I? Who am I? we probably could have changed the music. So obviously here, I've set the speed to quick because obviously he's trying to run. You can't cross over those tiles or behind there, which is cool. And so now we should be able to go here. I've changed the colour, as you can see. I will show you how to do that. So obviously now, okay, what I'll have to do is the cutscene of jump tutorial. So here, oh, that's meant to be a -2. If we go around to the other side, I can assure you that it will work. Okay, let's just close that for now because that's going to get annoying. So then what we want to do is we want to go on here, new event page. Why is my switches not working? Nah, my switches should be working. Okay, let's redo this. Jump tutorial on, and then I'm meant to have clear first room. There you go. So that means that one. If, oh no, we don't want that on. If quick, oh no, I was right. There we go. So now what we'll want to do is delete that one. We'll want a new event page because if jump tutorial is on, we don't want the message coming up again. So we'll just replace those ones. And now hopefully this, if jump tutorial is on, we don't want you to +2, we want you to -2. And then we want the other one to +2. Sound effects working. So there we go. Let's have a look at this. We'll change that later when it works, obviously. So, little cutscene. Then I'll just speed through here. Okay. Obviously, pressing the enter key won't do anything. Okay, that didn't replace properly. I'll do that in a minute. But here, whoop, and then we'll want it to jump to here. But for now, you don't want to go back, so we'll just go here. And then that takes you out here. You can climb down that ledge. So there we go. We'll change it so it's a little more dramatic as such later. So there we go. I'll fix the little minor bugs we had. Actually, I'll do that now. Okay. There we go. So there we go, that's working. For this one, really all we need to do is we need to copy that event page, make a new event and paste. And if we set it to +2, then it will turn right. Then what we'll want to do is we'll want to set that to +2 so it jumps over to the right. So there we go. That's really your first cutscene to our game. Sorry about the crash there. That was a little bit embarrassing. So there we go. If you guys want anything in the next episode, if you want to suggest plot points, characters, submit maps or anything, just leave them down in the comments below. You can also guys send me in or send in game demos if you guys want me to let's play that, because I'm open to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Leave a like, subscribe to become part of the RPG army. I would love that. I would love it if you guys did that. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's fun to make, and I will see you guys in the next part. Bye.